2020 GMC Sierra Denali. This truck is massive. It has so what I'm going to be doing to it this week: detail, polish, Optical Pro Plus, exterior 7-year warranty coating, OptiGuard interior ceramic coating 5-year warranty, and it is going to be a project and a half just because of the size of it. It's a very large. It's a very large vehicle. It's a 2500. It definitely seems taller than it should be, but it is what it is. That's okay. It has a decent amount of scratches on it for 2020, 87,000 miles. So he uses it. He enjoys this truck. He takes care of it, and he's finally pulled the trigger on getting it coated. So we can hope for about 50% scratch removal, which 50% removal, we're removing clear coat, remember. So that is the number at which, generally speaking, when you achieve that, we're still leaving a good amount of material or clear coat intact, and we're not removing to the point of, let's say, perfection. It's big, it's black. GM is one of the softest paints on the road, especially black. And there's only so much material. And if this truck has another 15 years plus of life, we want to preserve the clear coat and not remove it. The interior is a little bit different of a story in regards to the interior. He definitely takes care of it. It's cleaner than most, I would say. The issue is it has slimy protectant. If you go to Walmart or Costco or whatever, these places, the big box store, AutoZone, there are some decent things in there as far as interior protectants and cleaners. For the most part, when you get an interior protectant, it's going to be greasy, right? Because they're trying to sell a product somebody's going to buy and buy and buy and buy. And like, oh wow, my interior is glowing, it's glossy, it's covering up. Basically, it's a makeup, but it's regrettably it's full of solvents. Plastic and solvent, leather and solvent, they don't mix very well. So in order for the coating to adhere to everything properly, I have to rip this stuff off. It takes a lot to get through. And it's interesting where I'll see protectant, like on here, there's actually dust stuck to it on a vertical surface. So the steering column's at a 90, it's actually the back of the steering wheel too. It's at a 90-degree angle, but dust is stuck to it. That should not be, because a greasy protectant does not prevent dirt from sticking to it. The only thing it does, okay, it does a couple things. The main thing that it does is it makes your interior shiny. That's it. That's all you get. Instead of it being matte, which it's supposed to be, it turns it into shiny. Okay, I'm not sure if you want shiny. If you want it, that's fine. Then use it. The number two thing that it does, it actually dulls the color, right? So it ages it is what ends up happening. So normally 10 times out of 10, whenever I rip this stuff off of an interior, the interior is left looking gray and dingy. It has lost some of its color, some of it's been aged. And that's the number two thing. I personally don't want anything. I want matted. I want a more matte interior. So when I coat it, it's going to become more matte. It's going to look a lot better. It's going to stand taller. The more matte it looks, the better it's going to look. And that's what we're going for here. And that is the project for today, 2020 GMC Sierra Denali. He gave me the truck for the whole week. He's away, vacation, a business trip. I'm not sure which. So follow along as we transform this probably very expensive truck and make it look like it should. It is amazing to me every time I get out of the wash bay how much better the paint looks, feels. Even when I'm cleaning it, I can just feel like the slickness, all that gritty dirt is gone. So when you don't have your exterior detailed, even if you just run it, even if you go through the automatic weekly or wash it by hand weekly, you're going to still get a buildup because soap really doesn't rip that dirt out. Eventually, it builds up over a few months and a few years. And then once I rip that dirt off, the paint just feels so much smoother. Even when I do the last step in the wash bay, for this one was about an hour and a half. That last step, I could just feel it's like gliding across velvet, is what it feels like. And speaking of velvet, that's exactly what the interior feels like now. As you remember, it had all the slimy goo. So, and I'll say this one does have a little bit more of a sheen on the interior, but it's still matte. It's just like a higher matte. I don't know if maybe it's semi-gloss, who knows? But it definitely still has a matteness to it. So when a shiny kind of greasy protectant gets put on, it ends up making the interior look very inconsistent. In other words, you have a shiny area one spot, you have a dull area in another, you have a matte area in another, and then a kind of a combination of all three, just in different places, and it just looks. What's the streaky, splotchy is the kind of the term. It's just not very uniform, not very consistent. So when I rip all that stuff off, a lot of the dullness, as I suspected was going to be there, came out. It just looked, like these lower halves of the doors, they just all look like somebody was kicking, and just scuffing the bejeebers out of them. But that's not what's happening. It's because that's a harder plastic. So as the solvent-based product goes in, it pulls the color out, and it just looks like it was all scuffed up and kind of scraped. Although, yes, there are scratches and scuffs on the interior. That's pretty normal, especially for a truck. But anyway, once I coated it, everything becomes more uniform. It becomes more matte, or I guess this one is a semi-gloss. But see here, you got leather that's matte, and then this is a semi-gloss. That's just a Denali for you. They want to make it super duper fancy and add some sheen. I personally think it would look better all completely matte. But anyway, the coating has not only removed the dull, dingy, kind of scuffed up look and has really, it's dark in the interior 5 or 6 shades darker, which is actually darker than it would have been originally, which is why the interior coating makes the interior look so much better. It uniformed it out, made it look darker, and then the last thing, it just feels like velvet. It's not slick. It's not greasy. It just gives it a new top coating. So that's the instant gratification. The long-term gratification is how clean this interior is going to stay. Sure, still going to vacuum the carpet because it gets so crummy, but that's minimal, and I wouldn't touch a vacuum to this thing maybe once a year if you want to be more, if you have some sort of debilitating OCD and you want to vacuum it every week, knock yourself out. That's a lot of work. This interior is protected, and on top of that, 5-year warranty covers up to $5,000 of wear and tear, and this interior is in very good shape considering it's 87,000 miles.